Hello everyone, and welcome to the next edition of the Holland Land Office Museum's Artifact video series. My name is Ryan Duffy and I'm the director of the museum, and this week we're going to talk about something very applicable to the summer weather we've been having, and that was based around the entertainment around the Tonawanda Creek. Now in the past we had talked about the Bluebird boat, which ran up and down the creek taking people to picnic spots and such, but we're going to talk about another form of entertainment that came around at the same time based around the creek, and that is the Batavia Canoe Club, which existed in the early years of the 20th century and actually was started by some of the more influential people of Batavia at the time. Now the Canoe Club's history didn't last very long, and its popularity soon waned, just as the Bluebird boat did, and really the entertainment around the creek in general. But we're going to go through the history of it and some of the things that they did while it was in existence. The Canoe Club in Batavia was organized in 1908 by some of the most influential members of the community at the time, including Newell K. Cone, Everett Tomlinson, Guy Lone, Frank Camelius, Marshall Rumsey, and Francis Moyhannon were all charter members, and George Cottis was the first Commodore. He was then replaced by Milton Miller in 1911. Club members banded together and built a clubhouse on the bank of Tonawanda Creek at the Kibbe Addition. However, it was destroyed by a flood, and they moved to a spot near Chestnut Street, which was at Andrews Docks or Andrews Landing. In 1911, the group incorporated in order to buy the spot on which the clubhouse stood and talked of building an addition in the coming years. From the clubhouse, members held races and regattas that drew huge crowds to Tonawanda Creek to watch them race up and down the water. Their first regatta was held on a Saturday in July 1908 and started with a parade of boats and canoes down the Tonawanda Creek from the clubhouse to the Kibbe Addition and then back to Andrews Dock. At the same time, a cowboy band played music from one of the first boats. The second regatta was held in September of that same year, but at night. Watts Richmond, descendant of Dean Richmond, actually donated a prize to be awarded to the member of the best decorated canoe, which was won by Marshall Rumsey, who decorated his canoe with 25 Japanese lanterns. The clubhouse stood on the bank of the creek long after the canoe club had lost much of its interest, and canoeing had turned into a less strenuous sport. In 1937, Donald Mackenzie bought it and used it as a lumber storage, and then it was part of the Doler Die Casting Company, where they built their gas plant after the canoe club clubhouse was torn down. So the canoe club had a relatively short existence, as many of the sports along Tonawanda Creek. It was very popular in the first years of the 20th century, but soon died out as other activities took its place. Well, I hope you enjoyed this edition of the Artifact video series and learned a little bit more about the Batavia Canoe Club and some of the excitement that revolved around Tonawanda Creek here well over 100 years ago. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to check out the rest on our YouTube channel, Holland Land Office Museum, and give any that you enjoy a like, or even subscribe to the channel, as it helps us out a little bit and gets you notified even quicker when we do release new material. But as always, the best way to come and learn about more things like the Batavia Canoe Club is to come and visit the museum yourself, and we'll be happy to share even more stories about what we have here besides what's just included in these videos.